Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm reviewing the Netflix movie Thunder Force. This is on Netflix, starring Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer. Basically, so this is a superhero comedy film. They're two superheroes. Basically, the story of this movie is, back in the 1980s, there's some radiation, space radiation that happens on Earth, and only a certain number of people on Earth get from this radiation games become superpowers, and unfortunately, all these people that get superpowers are villains. Or at least they become supervillains, and so they're called miscreants. So basically, this miscreants have become a real plague on humanity, and so that's kind of the backstory of it. And now these two women, one's McCarthy's character's name Lydia, and Octavia Spencer's character named Emily. So they kind of grow up together. They meet in school, grade school, and so they kind of grow up together. And so it turns out that Octavia Spencer, Emily's parents were killed by miscreants when she was young, and so her whole life is to get a degree, become successful, become like a scientist, and find out a way to successfully fight the miscreants. That's her goal in life. While Lydia is just kind of like, that's great, but I'm just gonna do my own thing. So they end up kind of splitting up because they go on divergent paths, and so basically it ends up years later that Lydia is kind of just a blue collar working woman, whereas Emily becomes a big successful scientist with her own facility and everything, and she's kind of like I don't know. You think of a really successful scientist like a cross between like Oprah and Neil deGrasse Tyson, something like that. So, anyways, she's successful. So Lydia goes to visit her one day, and she's in the office. So Emily has her wait in the office, and she sees this chair on a thing, and she goes, lays down. She's just whatever, and she accidentally gets injected with the serum. And of course, Emily freaks out like, "Oh my God, that was meant for me. What are you doing? You screwed everything up." And it turns out she accidentally got injected with a thing for super strength. And so that was basically Emily's plot all the time, was that she was gonna give herself super strength. She was supposed to be on her. She was gonna give herself super strength and invisibility to fight miscreants, because there's a big miscreant it takes place in Chicago, and there's a big one called, her name is Laser. She's like the big villain of the thing, and she's like going around just destroying Chicago, and so they need someone to fight her. So that's what Emily's trying to do. And so since Lydia accidentally took it, so now she said, "Oh, Lydia, okay, you got to stay here because now you got to take 30 more injections to get where we need you to be." And so she's like, "Oh crap!" So now she's stuck in this facility, and so they do like a montage of her for the next 30 days, taking these to get super strong. And then once all they're involved, so she has injections, and and Emily needs to just take pills. So now once they form a team, they call the team Thunder Force. That's the two of them together, and along with Emily's daughter, who's supposed to be a whiz kid, genius, graduated at 16 from Harvard, whatever, or Stanford, and so they together they call them Thunder Force, and they're going to basically be a super team to go fight Laser and other miscreants and save Chicago. So I mean, I just say for a Netflix movie, it's okay. It's not really my cup of tea. I mean, it's definitely trying to be a comedy. So all the stuff that's happening in here, it's supposed to be very tongue in cheek. I mean, it's kind of a typical kind of Melissa McCarthy kind of movie where she's kind of like in your face trying to make you laugh. And if you're into that, that's great. But sometimes the jokes just kind of don't land, and you're just like, okay. I mean, you can see like you're not really supposed to take this seriously, and so I mean, it's definitely because with all these miscreants running. In fact, there's one character, one of the villains, played by Jason Bateman. He's literally half crab. Like he's got crab hands, and the whole joke is that people are not really supposed to be noticing his crab hands, and so I guess he's supposed to be mad about that, and he wants revenge, and that's why he's had a life crime. And then there's supposed to be a love story include that with him, and it's kind of convoluted. It's kind of like a typical Melissa McCarthy movie. Think of Tammy but with superpowers. It's just like, okay, I get it. It's supposed to be lighthearted, but it's just you're not. I mean, at least for me, I didn't really laugh that much. I mean, there's one or two scenes you're like, oh, okay, that's funny. That's cute. I mean, there's nothing really offensive about this movie. It's like this movie's not so bad that it's like, oh my god, why, it should be burned. And this, what the hell were they thinking? It's just okay. I mean, if this is the kind of movie, if it's the kind of comedy you like, you know, if you really like these really silly goofball kind of superhero comedies, that's fine. It's passable. You know, it's nothing really offensive. I mean, you know, it's a good hour and a half. You know, just to pass the time, which I found. But otherwise, I mean, it just kind of didn't work for me. It's definitely something you could skip. I mean, it definitely, you know, this definitely would not have done good in theaters. I don't think, at least my opinion. I think it's, you know, where it is on Netflix. I think that's the perfect place for it. It's one of those where you just watch it and the next day you kind of just completely forget about it. You know, it's one of those kind of goofball comedies where you're just like, okay, whatever. I've seen better. You know, which is kind of unfortunate to say, the kind of typical most Melissa McCarthy movies nowadays, where you're just like, okay, you know, I've seen better. Move on. You know, so I mean, I say if this is your, you know, if this is your kind of movie, if this you like, if you're really a big fan of hers, and well, Octavia Spencer's okay, and this is, you know, it's really fun, but it's really, you know, Melissa McCarthy, where she's kind of, you know, trying hard to do it, and then it's funny because there's another character in here played by Melissa Leo. She's kind of like an ex-CIA part agent. She's part of the, and she kind of does a little better job in the comedy because she's more of a serious character, and she kind of do more subtle comedy in moments where she interjects things that are in a way are kind of funnier than like Melissa McCarthy, who's like literally trying to beat you over the head with comedy. She's got like, at this point where she's got a mallet and she's beating thing, and like she's like, it's kind of like in this movie they're trying to do that with comedy, like, this is funny, don't you know, aren't you laughing. So yeah, I think I really, you know, kind of zany stuff going on in here. And like I said, the story isn't terrible, but it's not great. So I think the placement here on Netflix is kind of perfect for what it is. It's just very, you know, middle of the road, blah, comedy, nothing you're going to remember. And, you know, you just, after you watch it, you're just like, okay, you know, that's fine. On to the next thing. You know, just part of your, you know, monthly Netflix subscription, you know, just, you know, you don't have to go to the theater and spend a lot of money on this. So that's the grateful thing about it. But so other way, so that's my opinion of Thunder Force. It's like I said, on Netflix. It's all right. You know, if you got the time and you like these kind of comedies, you know, it's fine. It's just passable. But like I said, it's just so average as far as movies, maybe in the like lower tier of kind of movies coming out right now. So, but say, hey, if you got the time, if you like it, take a shot. Nothing, you know, nothing to lose. So anyway, so that's my review of Thunder Force. And once again, thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you've seen it, and you have an opinion, please leave a comment in the description. Once again, thank you, and please like, share, and subscribe. Have a good day.